From 2013 to 2016, the Hong Kong government commissioned the building of a new station box underneath Hung Hom MTR station. A year and a half after completion, a major scandal erupted in 2018 based upon concerns that the contractors who build the concrete slabs which form the platform levels had purportedly cut off the ends of the rebars, which are the reinforcing bars that are screwed into couplers which are within the walls. When done properly, this produces a structurally sound platform. The contractor, Jason Poon, freely admitted he caused the concrete to be poured over the rebars even though the steel bars might not have been connected to the couplers, and thus, there were fears the platforms could collapse. In June 2018, the government appointed a commission of inquiry to determine what had happened. The first time everyone became aware there might be a problem occurred when the media started to ask questions in May 2018. Although it was alleged that the Oriental press was asking questions as early as March 2018. Needless to say, the parties involved in the construction of these platforms either were, for the most part, unaware, yet there were some parties who were fully aware, but had actively remained silent and deliberately concealed the alleged defects. It was only after the media had broken the story that Jason Poon, the party responsible for pouring the concrete, got in front of the scandal, started to give self-serving interviews, and thereafter, with purported skillful manipulations, took the title of the whistleblower. The following presentation is based upon the interim report of the Commission of Inquiry, witness statement of parties involved, in particular, the befuddling evidence of Jason Poon.
Good day. I am Mr. Hotong. I seldom come on these platforms, but Mr. Jason Poon invited me to. Remember, Jason, your actions invited me. You have made some deliberate, calculated, defamatory remarks against my wife, Yung Jingjing. First, my wife has my full and unwavering support. You attacked my wife. You bragged. You like to be aggressive. You bragged. You like to bully her. Your poor wife actually has to live with you. Your mother, she must be so proud. So, you attacked my wife. And you actually said online or on your platform, whatever, that you have to bully her. Have you taken leave of your senses? It's a little difficult for me right now to stay calm. Suffice to say, your behavior fills me with disgust. You know, a worm, I can't even call you that. A worm is actually useful, catches fish. Manure, no, that's useful. It's fertilizer. You're like human trash. Toxic waste. That's what you are. That's my opinion. What does Hong Kong think about you? Who is Jason Poon? Well, you're known for two things. You're known for losing an election. You came in last. You know why, Jason? Because you're a loser. What's the other thing you're known for? Well, the scandal at the Hung Hom metro station. Yeah, all right. So let's get a little more professional about this. The background is simple. Jason Poon and his company, China Tech Corporation Limited, which I will refer to as China T or China Tech, was retained as a subcontractor by禮頓. At paragraph 91 of the interim report of the Commission of Inquiry of February 2019, it is confirmed China Tech was required to erect the initial framework. Another company, Fang Sung, would then install steel reinforcement. Once done, China Tech would remove the remaining formwork, remove any debris, clean out the bay ready for concreting, and then China Tech would pour the concrete. I'd like everyone to remember this. Always remember, Jason pours the concrete. Now, Jason alleged that the steel rebars used by Fang Xing in the steel reinforcement was defective, basically saying the steel rebars had been cut short, meaning the final product was not up to standard and the platforms in the MTR could collapse. This was an extremely serious allegation that Jason put into writing in his first witness statement for the commission. At para 49, he exhibited an email of January 6, 2017. Let me read a part of it. I sent an email to Mr. Zarvis, formally reporting to Leighton that China Tea has records proofing staff members of Leighton were cutting the threaded rebars. Now, this is an illicit practice. You're not supposed to do this. So if what's Jason saying true, that's very good of him to do that. The more significant part of this email, and I quote, if the EWL track slab fails due to the failure of these critical structural key construction in future, it will be a big crisis on public life when heavy trains will carry hundreds of life traveling on it both up and down tracks in every minute. We demand a feedback by end of today, or we will report this finding directly to LegCo panel on transport and ask for public investigation tomorrow morning. So Jason's, as usual, very aggressive. Oh, by the way, that's the way he writes English, okay? That's not my English, that's his English. All right. So let's go to paragraph 86 of the interim report of the Commission of Inquiry of the construction of the Hong Kong Station. I'll now refer to this report simply as the interim report. Okay, it states, China Tech started work in July 2015. The subcontract required China Tech to provide all necessary labor, supervision, plant equipment, and materials to undertake the formwork and the concrete placing. Now, at paragraph 96, same report, it is stated Jason and China Tech has finished pouring the concrete by mid-August 2016. So Jason's job on the Hong Kong project is finished August 2016. So, out of the blue, a full 18 months after Jason's work has been completed, he suddenly becomes very concerned. I'll put it up on the screen here. As reflected by this email, he's so concerned that he would contact LegCo the very next day and demand a public investigation. Okay, actually, now the email's in full, not simply the 2 paragraphs I quoted before, so you can see the whole email. All right, but anyway, Jason did not contact LegCo panel. Jason keeps his mouth shut. And we all know how difficult that must be. Yeah, Jason? Keeping your mouth shut. Anyway, big mystery here. Now, let's go to your first witness statement, paragraph 51. 252 days after the January warning, Jason sends another email. Quote unquote, this is what Jason says. On 15 September 2017, at 053 hours, I further issued another email to Mr. Zarvis demanding a response from him or Leighton. The relevant parts of this email reads as follows. Dear Anthony, it is already 8 months after our report on the caption concern on structural safety. We still unable to obtain your feedback, and we observe that there is no remedial works being committed on site in these 8 months' time. All right, 2 hours later, at paragraph 55, Jason's first witness statement, he states, at 11:06 hours, I sent an email to Frank Chan, Secretary for Transport and Housing, indicating, Inter Allah, that China Tea has an urgent matter to report which is of public interest. In this email, Jason alleges, we are a subcontractor responsible for the works of formwork and concreting. We would like to invite a joint interview in the presence of the senior representative of the Bureau, MTRC, Leighton, and our company, reviewing and discussing an important issue that we found and reported in this 20 January 17 on the execution of the works, which is much related to the interest of the public. We sincerely hope the meeting shall be held tomorrow morning at the venue decided by the Bureau as a matter of urgency. Okay, this time, after 252 days, Jason has finally found the incentive, not sure what that quite is, to reveal the problems to the government. Yet, mysteriously, as we see at paragraph 65 of Jason's first witness statement, he exhibits another email sent to the Secretary of Housing and Transport at 1922 hours, 18 September 2018. So his first email is on the 15th. 3 days later, on the 18th, he sends another one. The relevant parts of this email says, Dear Mr. Leung, AS Transport, during these few days, we are working tight and hard on the suspecting technical issues with Messrs. Leighton and reached satisfactory understanding and full clarification, i.e., the suspecting subject has been cleared now and no significant impact is retained. We believe it is a full and final end of the issue. And may we invite to close all relevant files accordingly. Wow. Okay. So how is this possible? We saw in Jason's email of 15 September to Leighton that the technical issues were many and significant, as detailed at paragraph 51 of Jason's witness statement. Namely, I'll read it to you. Concerning the public safety and durability of the structural critical 3M thick EWL slab, which accommodate all the east-west lanes railways of the Sha Tin Central Line, we propose all transverse shear keys interfacing the diaphragm wall panels and all longitudinal, that's trying to pronounce what he spelled, construction joints between construction bays must be 100% inspected. So that's two things. And assured for structural safety. Number 3, we opine all damaged and malpractice couplers, including installing without torque test, and cheating practice by Leighton direct staffs, cutting away most of the threads, estimating over 30,000 pieces involved must be tackled. So I think that's 4 issues. And we're talking about 30,000 pieces. The steel rebars, 30,000 pieces must be inspected. So how did Jason handle all this? Well, he tells us. We go to paragraph 62 and 63 of his first witness statement. At paragraph 62, Jason says he met with Anthony Zarvis and did a joint inspection at the Hung Hom station, whereby Jason, quote unquote, in his own words, agreed not to disclose the details of this matter to the public and or the government until we meet again on 18th September. Okay, 3 days later, nothing wrong with that, giving Leighton a chance. At paragraph 63, Leighton attends the offices of Leighton at 3 p.m. and after allegedly receiving guarantees from Leighton, Jason says, I agree that China Tech would not disclose the matter to the Hong Kong government. Now, as we already saw, Jason's email at 1922, 18 September 2017, Jason tells the government everything is fine, no problem. So, with one joint on-site meeting on 16 September and a 2-3 hour office meeting on 18 September, Jason has produced a miracle. He has amazingly settled the following specific technical issues that existed a mere 72 hours earlier. All shear keys interfacing the diagram wall panels are now in order. What a guy. All construction joints between the construction bays are 100% inspected. How did he do that? It must, had a full team working around the clock. 3 days did all this. All damaged, malpractice couplers are rectified. All issues of cutting away the threads on the steel rebars, approximately 30,000 steel bars, has been inspected, tested, and or explained in a satisfactory manner. Really amazing, Jason. Really quite a guy. Now, Jason specifically assured the government that, quote unquote, suspecting technical issue with Messrs.禮頓and had reached satisfactory understanding and full clarification, i.e., the suspecting subject has been cleared now and no significant impact is retained. All right. Good job, Jason. Let's see what Anthony Vargas says. Second witness statement of Anthony Vargas. On page 4, para 11a, Anthony convincingly refutes Jason's allegation of a joint inspection on 16 September 2017. Not only did documented records reflect Anthony never attended the construction site on 16 September, but the documented records reflect he was in meetings all day long with other officers of禮頓. In Anthony's fourth witness statement, page 2, para 6c, Anthony, while referring to the office meeting of 18 September, says, quote unquote, all the details of the discussions alleged by Jason Poon are false. Anthony's calling you a liar, Jason. So what is going on? Were all the numerous technical issues fixed as you told the government? Anthony wasn't on site with you on 16 September. You fixed everything by yourself. Why did you admit, at least twice, in your own witness statement, that you promised you would conceal, you promised to hide everything from the government? And we see from your email, this is exactly what you did. Now, that's not an action of a whistleblower. So you're really not a whistleblower, Jason, are you? You're not this hero. Save the town, are you? So what really happened? Well, we can find some clues in the following respective witness statements. First, let's start with solving the mystery as to why Jason did not contact LegCo and make public his concerns as he said he would do in his email of 6 January 2017. Why didn't you, Jason? All right, the January email. In order to solve this puzzle, we need to canvass the witness statement of Mr. Kyle Roger, a superintendent of禮頓, Mr. Anthony Vargas, who was the project director of禮頓, Adrian Rodney, who was a project manager of MTR Corporation, and Dr. Wong, who was the general manager of MTR Corporation. First witness statement, Kyle Rogers. At para 21 of his first witness statements, he says, in January 2017, I recall that Poon was under a lot of pressure to get the job done. He was turning over his supervisors quickly because of his abrasive manner. Surprise, surprise. And because I understood he was not paying them on time. I heard some of his staff had taken him to the labor tribunal for unpaid wages. I remember some of the formwork that China Technology had prepared collapsed. This is all added to the financial pressure on China Technology. Let's take a look at a first witness statement of Anthony Vargas. Page 2, paragraph 7. By the end of December 2016, Poon came to me and asked for payment of $6 million. At that time, only 50% of the end of December 2016 milestones were completed. I told Poon that China Tech would not get paid until it achieved the agreed milestones for December 2016, which he agreed only in mid-December. Poon was not satisfied with my response. Let's go to paragraph 8. On 4th January 2017, Poon made a demand on me that礼頓immediately release $6 million payment to China Tech and claimed that the non-achievement of the milestone was due to the failures of others. Okay. At para 9, on 5th January 2017, Poon removed his entire labor, about 272 workers, from the site. And he told me if礼頓undertook any concrete casting work on his behalf, he would call the media. Getting this kind of big baby syndrome going here. All right, so we got a money problem. This money problem started in December. It's continued up to the 5th of January. Page 3, paragraph 7-8. Anthony Vargas states, communications between China Technology and礼頓in the days leading to Poon's email sent at 9:45 on 6 January 2017 relate to the commercial issues. These emails express禮頓dissatisfaction with China Tech's work. I exchanged emails with Jason on 4th 2017 regarding these types of issues. On 6 2017, Joe Tam sent me an email which recorded the unsatisfactory or unfinished work of China Tech with photographic records. Photographic records correlated on 5th January 2017, etc., etc. You can see the statement. It's up on the screen. So, on January 6, 2017, in the middle of this dispute about money, Jason sent the email that for the first time ever contained the allegation that steel rebars had been cut and there were structural safety issues. Let's take a look at a witness statement of Aideen Rodney. Page 25, 73. What does he think? The relevant part says, this is a part of Jason's strategy to put pressure on禮頓to pay him extra $3 million this week. Yeah, but the work's not done, Jason. All right. Let's go to the reply witness statement of Dr. Wong Nai Keung Philco. I'll just refer to him as Dr. Wong going forward. Page 20, paragraphs 43 and 44. 43. I also heard, this is Dr. Wong speaking, I also heard in general during the communication meetings that there were concerns that China Technology did not place sufficient resources into the performance of its tasks. I remember that Mr. Jason Poon's message during that telephone conversation was that LCAL had not paid China Technology sufficiently or at all. I told Mr. Jason Poon that I would ask my team to look into the payment issue. Paragraph 44. After my discussion with Mr. Jason Poon, I called Mr. Au because of my impression from my telephone discussion with Mr. Jason Poon that China Technology's problem was a commercial one. This is Mr. Raymond Au. You can read the full paragraph 44 on your own time. So, let's go to paragraph 45. Jason Poon told, this is Dr. Wong talking, Jason Poon told Mr. Raymond Au that everything was settled. Mr. Raymond Au told me that he thought there was no further action required, so he did not revert to me immediately. I also thought that the matter had been closed, so I didn't take any further steps. So how did everything get settled, Jason? It's clear from Dr. Wong's position and Raymond Au, who dealt only with commercial matters. Raymond Au does not deal with anything except money issues. And that's why this is all about money, nothing else. I think we can accept the statements of Dr. Wong and Mr. Rodney. These were MTR officers, and they were not in any conflict with Jason. They were a step removed. However, the statements of Anthony Vargas and Kyle Rogers, and they are officers of礼頓, there could be some bias here, because these officers have to deal with Jason directly, so they had conflicts. So we need to resolve this enigma as to why Jason, on purpose and with willful intent and deviousness, concealed and actively covered up the so-called dangers of the project from the government and the common everyday people who would be using the MTR. How are we going to do this? Let's have Jason tell us. Jason can tell us. Let's go to Jason's fourth witness statement. Mr.潘焯鴻Jason. Jason has helpfully provided a flow chart of events that explains the mystery. At the bottom of page 2, the last item, Jason lets us know that on 10th December 2016, Poon emailed禮頓's Zarvis informing him of an outstanding sum of 17 million. Okay. So Jason has confirmed that as early as December 10, 2016, a commercial dispute was active. Jason wanted what he felt was owed to him. So the uncontested evidence agreed to in the witness statement of 2 officers of禮頓, 2 officers of the MTR, and Jason is the existence of a money dispute. It is only after Jason's threat of going to LegCo and the public in his email of 6 January 2017 that, according to Jason, the following occurs. Take a look at page 4, third item. Jason says, on 9th January 2017,禮頓paid China Tech $4.5 million without imposing any conditions. At item 4, same page. 23rd, this is Jason says, 23rd January 2070, Poon and禮頓Zarvis reached a revised milestone and final account settlement agreement. Parties agree that a total of $33 million will be paid to China Tech, according to the revised milestone payment schedule. Jason goes on to testify through his witness statement.禮頓paid China Tech $1.5 million as part of the milestone payment for December 2016. That same day,禮頓paid China Tech another $3.5 million. So all this is happening that same day is on 23rd January 2007. Might need to check that date. But the bottom line is it's happening after December, right? After Jason's threatening email of 6th January. Okay, if one examines the flow chart on page 4 at the top of page 5, one will note as long as Jason is getting his monthly payment, a total of 10 payments between 14th February 2017 to August 2017, the allegations about defects, okay, the defects that put the public, the Hong Kongers, those defects that put us in danger, they're gone. They're vanished. I think we now know why Jason did not contact LegCo and make the matter public, as he stated in his email of 6 January 2016. Jason had accumulated 22.5 million reasons to keep his promise not to say anything to the press and the government. So it seems to me there are 22.5 million reasons why Jason had no concern for the people. To simplify the point, let me make it real simple. What if Jason had a heart attack? Or he was hit by a bus as late as August 2017? Being dead, he could not warn the people of Hong Kong. Okay? Even after he received $22.5 million. If he got hit by a bus August 2017, he'd be dead. He couldn't tell us, right? He could care less how many hundreds of commuters would die or be injured if the WL slab collapsed. How do we know? Because true to his word, he didn't report the purported defects to the government or to us, the public. Well, Jason wasn't dead, and禮頓would have to pay more. This brings us to the September 2017 email. Okay. So by now, before we even get into December, we know what a lowlife Jason is, right? Okay. September email. What caused Jason to send the email of 15th December 2017? It's quite simple. Again, Jason tells us. Thank you, Jason. In the same flowchart of his fourth witness statement, on page 5 at item 3, Jason says, on 11th and 13th September 2017, as a common practice to delay payment,禮頓sent Poon complaint letters regarding China T's alleged poor performance. Oh, so why did禮頓stop the payments? For the same reasons as before. Same reasons that provoked the January 6th threatening email, as asserted by禮頓officers. Not only was Jason unable to perform his contract, he even got arrested because of his disruptive behavior, as evidenced by the following. Let's take a look at the first witness statement of Kyle Rogers. At para 23rd, Mr. Roger explains, personally, I found Jason Poon to be an aggressive and manipulative individual. I'm just going to read the relevant parts. You can read the whole para on your own time. This culminated in a physical alteration between him and me after Chinese New Year 2017. China Technology had not properly performed a site cleanup before the handover of an area to track subcontractors. Therefore, other people were brought in to move his materials from site. Poon accused those people of stealing his materials. I was on site and saw Poon harassing another subcontractor and generally acting very aggressively. I approached him. He responded by jabbing his finger into my chest. To my regret, I responded by pushing him away. Anyway, the police were called. We were both arrested. I was charged and bound over. I believe Jason Poon similarly charged and bound over. Gotta watch that temper of yours, Jason. Seems to get you in a little trouble. Let's go back to the witness statement of Anthony Vargas. First witness statement, page 4, para 21.禮頓sent 2 letters of 11 September 2017 and 13 September 2017 to China Tech regarding China Tech's poor performance. China Tech responded on 15 September, blaming others. You see the pattern here? For its poor performance and delay on outstanding works, and raised the issue again that we have reported the matter of cheating coupler and threading. So Jason's now reached into his back pocket and pulled out that old threat. Let's examine second witness statement of Carl Speed. He's the new general manager who joined禮頓in April 2017. Page 1, para 6.禮頓was disappointed with China Tech's unsatisfactory performance. China Tech failed to complete the required works on or near schedule, but still continued to demand large amounts of money from禮頓. I don't know, Jason, why don't you just do the work? You can avoid a lot of this, a little professionalism maybe. All right, let's go back to the statement. Witness statement, Kyle Rogers, first witness statement. Para 20. Rogers says, China Technology was unable to cope properly and experienced an increased number of quality, workmanship, and safety issues. At para 21. Actually, I need to check that para to double check, but don't worry, I'll put it on screen. Jason Poon complained a lot. The whole process was driven by Reebok fixers. That would be Fang Shui. The quicker China Technology had to work, and the more people Poon had to put on the job. However, at no point did he ever say to me, did Poon ever say to Rogers, that there were issues with defective rebars. He never said that the threaded ends of rebars had been cut off. It never came up in one of our daily meetings, which China attended. And none of my site team, the Leighton engineers, or MTR-CL staff ever reported that Poon or any China technology staff had raised the issue. I mean, this work's been going on since, I think, July 2015. That's when Jason shows up. Jason's finished August 2016. 18 months later, these issues start coming up. Okay. Second witness statement, Kyle Rogers, page 2, para 6. Rogers reaffirms, I was aware in early 2017 that Poon's workers and subcontractors were not getting paid on time. And I heard that some of them went to the Labor Department. So what Rogers is saying is Poon is not paying his workers. And they're taking them to the Labor Department. I don't know if that's true or not. That's what Rogers says. Leighton effectively lent China Technology money to purchase a lot of his temporary and permanent materials for the project. For example, i.e., the formwork and scaffold. Leighton bought the materials, and I believe Poon agreed a repayment schedule. All right, at para 8, Poon would complain regularly that he did not feel he was getting paid enough by Leighton. On a couple occasions, Poon commented that he had to use his wife's money to keep the business going. I hope you weren't too aggressive with her, Jason. You didn't have to bully her for that, did you? All right. What did Aidan Rodney think of Jason's email, September 15, 2017? At para 78 of his witness statement, he states, the meet between Carl Speed and Anthony Zarvas and Jason Poon has just been completed. Jason is seeking a payment of alleged $3 million for completed works. This is the exact same pattern as the January incident and the exact same amount Jason always kinds of need, $3 million. Due to claims of poor contract performance, as we just went over, Jason renews his threats, his old threats from January 6, 2017. But this time, he takes it one step further by actually contacting the government. He must have scared the heck out of Leighton. Good work, Jason. Anyway, you get the response from Leighton that you wanted. Let's re-examine your statement, your fourth witness statement, Jason. Let's take a look at page 5, item 5. Jason boldly confirmed his agreement to a conspiracy when he asserted that others helped him to send the email to the government that continued to conceal the purported and dangerous defects. He even signed a confidential agreement to further the scheme of deceiving the government. Jason, this is what you said. Upon Leighton's request, Poon emailed THB's S.H. Leung to withdraw the matter. The wordings in the email had been reviewed and amended by Leighton. All right, according to the Cambridge Dictionary, the activity of secretly planning with other people to do something bad is a conspiracy. So in layman's terms, Jason, concealing the alleged defects is a bad thing, okay? It's not a good thing. Your words, your exact words, not to disclose, that's the secret, okay? That's the secret element, which is reinforced by the confidentiality agreement. The activity, so you see, you need three elements here: the activity, the secret, working with other people. The activity, all of that, including the action, the actual doing of sending the deceitful email to the government, okay? I think Conspiracy covers it all. So, in the same email, you confirm, as such, Poon agreed not to disclose the matter to anyone, including the government, thus entered into the confidentiality agreement with禮頓. Also, upon禮頓request, Poon deleted some photos and a video depicting the cutting of threaded rebars by禮頓workers. I'm really not going to go too much into that. Okay, Poon's the only, Jason, you're the only one who said you had photos. And you deleted them all? That's the evidence. And you deleted them all? All right. Let's move on to item 6, where Jason firmly stated on 19 September 2017,禮頓paid China Tech 1.6 mil. Okay. In summary, Jason deliberately deceived the government that all the technical issues had been resolved when he asked the governments to close the files on 18 September. A day later, he gets 1.6 million. Why would Jason expose all of us to this danger? He knew what the dangers were. He said so in his email of 6 January. If the EWL track slabs fails due to the failure of these critical structural key construction in the future, and quote unquote, it will be a big, big crisis on public life when heavy trains carrying hundreds of life traveling on it, both up and down tracks in every few minutes. Again, it's his poor English, but we get the point. Jason, he believes this is a serious danger to us, to all of us, to his neighbors, to anyone who comes to Hong Kong and uses the MTR. This is a serious danger. So, the indisputable conclusion, besides Jason's whining and aggressive misconduct resulting in his arrest, is that Jason never had any thoughts for the safety of the common people. You and me, we mean nothing to him. From January 2017 to May 2018, Jason asserted he had evidence of serious defects in the construction site. But because of 24 million Hong Kong dollars, he actively worked and by his own admission agreed to conceal from the government and from you, the public, these dangers. Now, to be fair, the禮頓people, the MRT people, they say Jason's lying. They say they're not part of this conspiracy. They say they didn't even know Jason sent this email. Okay, so while the others rejected Jason's assertions that he told them about serious structural defects before 2017, that's a whole other issue we can get into in our next segment, Jason. Jason himself has confessed that he knew of the defects as early as July 2015, 3 years. So whether the information about the others is true or not, or to what degree, the undeniable fact is Jason claimed he knew the inherent dangers, and he confessed in his own witness statements that all contained, every single one of his witness statements contained a signed and declared statement of truth that he knowingly concealed and conspired with others to cover up what he asserted was a lurking danger, a grave peril that awaited future Hong Kong commuters. But for the right price, he would, and he did, allow these hidden dangers to remain suppressed under the concrete that he poured. He made damn sure the concrete was poured. You know what that means? The evidence is buried. It's underneath the concrete now. As noted by the interim report at para 189, with regard to Jason's email speaking to the danger that the EWL could collapse, and I quote the relevant part. This is the commission talking. This email, however, was sent more than a year after Jason Poon himself, as managing director of China Technology, had overseen the pouring of concrete on the same coupler connections, thereby encasing in concrete any evidence of the lack of structural integrity. Nice job, Jason. So anyway, I ask you, a hero whistleblower. The town has been thinking that for what? 4 years? You're a hero. Or you're a fraud, pretending to be a hero. Why don't you tell us, Jason? Great. Let's have Jason tell us. Jason says, page 6, Jason's fourth witness statement. Jason says, on 28th May 2018, he was, quote unquote, approached by Apple Daily concerning defective works in the EWL slab. The same EWL slab he told the government was good in his email of 18 September 2017. So now, the media is the whistleblower, and they've come to Jason. They want to know what's going on. What does Jason do? Does he give an interview? Does he quickly, get on the phone, call the government, send an email to the government, saying, hey, made a mistake? No. The first thing he says he does, quote unquote, he emailed Leighton's Zarvis to inform. Before closing this segment, I think we do have to acknowledge an absolute narcissism in Jason. After his own statements, after what I've just read you, the evidence, that's his evidence, bulk of it, the evidence he submitted has put beyond any dispute that there was a money commercial dispute every single time prior to the threats that he issued to expose. He has the stunning ignorance, the stunning arrogance to say, and I quote, page 6, fourth witness statement. This is Jason. In short, there's no such pattern, as Leighton alleges, of China Tea demanding payment from Leighton and subsequently pressuring Leighton by threatening to disclose the defective steelworks to relevant authorities if Leighton fails to pay. Jason, you have painstakingly revealed and confirmed the pattern in exquisite detail. At all times, there was first a dispute about money, followed by written threats from you that you would disclose defective steelworks. And you only shut up when you got a revised contract for $33 million. Remember that? You agreed not to disclose for money. And when the payment stops, you threatened to disclose until you got another payment. Finally, as I've referenced, the media was the whistleblower. Jason himself confirms he's not the hero whistleblower. So what is Jason? I don't know. Human trash? Human garbage? I'll let you decide for yourself. All right. Take it easy, Jason.
In March 2019, the Commission of Inquiry into the construction works at and near the Hung Hom Station extension under the Sha Tin to Central Link project issued its findings. In short, it ruled the construction works meet the safety standards. Jason Poon didn't like that, but in order to make himself the center of attention, he applied to file an application to quash the Commission's reports. As usual, Jason Poon failed again. To date, the Commission's reports stand unaffected by Jason Poon's meritless application. However, as noted by Jason Poon in para 16 of his application for leave to apply for judicial review to quash the interim and final report of the Commission on 21 May 2020, the chairman, the Honorable Michael Hartmann stated,
"The purpose of this inquiry is not to apportion blame for criminal conduct. I'm not interested in getting close to issues of criminal or public liability.
Thus, the issue of blackmail was not considered. The Oxford Learner's Dictionary states that blackmail is
the crime of demanding money from a person by threatening to tell somebody else a secret about them.
Did Jason commit the crime of blackmail when he demanded money from Leighton, and only agreed not to disclose the alleged secret of defective works once he got money? Or did Jason invent the gravity of the alleged defects? After all, Justice Hartmann noted at para. 194 of the interim report that
Jason Poon did not advance any statistical basis for his estimate that about 5% of the rebars had been cut. It appears to have been an arbitrary estimate. On the basis of the evidence he gave, it might just as well have been 2% or 3% or some other figure.
In other words, when Jason Poon claimed 30,000 rebars needed to be inspected in his email of 15 September 2017, Jason Poon simply invented the figure. Even if there were minimal or no defects, it would be easier to pay millions of dollars rather than billions to dig up and redo the works, and any construction manager, especially one as experienced as Jason, would know this. Did Jason Poon essentially fabricate the stories of massive and systematic defects in the Hung Hom MTR project? Jason is such an interesting person. In 2019, China Tech and Jason were again in the news. As reported by South China Morning Post on 4 November 2019, Jason Poon, the managing director of China Technology, launched a crowdfunding campaign to raise 5 million Hong Kong dollars. Jason declared if he didn't raise $500,000 by the end of November he would drop his campaign. The stated purpose of the China Tech project was to increase public appreciation on assorted construction matters that might be concealed. So, why the deadline? After all, Jason's stated purpose for the crowdfunding, in theory, is a never-ending mission. Coincidentally, it is noted from the court order of HCCW 285-2019 dated September 21, 2020 that a creditor of China Tech advertised his petition to wind up China Tech on November 8, 2019 in the Government Gazette, Singtao Daily and The Standard. This is 4 days after Jason started soliciting money from the public. Furthermore, during the hearing of September 21, 2020, the decision of the Honorable Justice Harris made it known that the creditor already had a judgment, dated August 22, 2019 against China Technology for almost $4 million. This is less than 3 months before Jason started the crowdfunding for the so-called China Technology project. Did the managing director, Jason Poon, when he launched China Tech's crowdfunding, disclose to the public the court's order of August 2019? If Jason could personally solicit $5 million from the public on behalf of China Technology, shouldn't he have also, personally, informed the public at the same time? There was a judgment against China Tech for approximately $4 million. On November 18, 2 weeks after the crowdfunding mission started, China Technology applied by summons to set aside the creditor's judgment for approximately $4 million. This legal tactic bought China Technology 8.5 months. On January 4, 2020, Jason claimed that the China Tech crowdfunding project had received a total of 1,546 donations that amount to 813,311 Hong Kong dollars and 74 cents. On July 31, 2020, Master Maurice Lam dismissed China Tech's application of November 2019. On August 17, 2020, China Technology, in desperation to secure more time, issued a notice of appeal that would have been heard on November 12, 2020. However, the Honorable Justice Harris, a no-nonsense judge, concluded China Tech was insolvent, and on September 21, 2020 China Technology was ordered by the court to be wound up because the non-payment of the statutory demand demonstrates the company is broke. Since China Technology was insolvent by September 2020, what happened to $813,311.74 Jason had raised by January 2020? Did this crowdfunding money go into China Tech's account? Did it go into Jason's personal account? Did it go into a specific account set aside for crowdfunding? How much money did China Tech receive in donations through the crowdfunding project between January 5 to September 20, 2020? Did Jason set up a new crowdfunding project to continue his mission? Where are all the donations from 5 January 2020 to the present? How much of the crowdfunding donations are under Jason Poon's direct control? These are public monies and the public have the right to demand an accounting. As China Tech was ordered to be liquidated in September 2020, what happened to its application for judicial review? Why did Jason cause China Tech to apply for judicial review in May 2020 when he knew there was a judgment of August 2019 against it for $4 million? There are so many unanswered questions. Stay tuned for more future misadventures of Jason Poon.